Ladies and gentlemen on YouTube, it's the Natural Born Thriller as I welcome you all to another back to back to back TNA Impact results for this TNA Wrestling review. Obviously, the last time I did this was the previous times I did it with this TNA Wrestling review, and I'm gonna do it again because it's my fault and all that and everything. So I do apologize for that. But as I said I would, I was gonna get back to this, and I'm doing so right here, right now. Now I'm gonna do something a little different here because as you can see, I am not on camera, which is all for good reason. I'm gonna do this off camera, and basically what how this is gonna be set up here, pertains to me doing this these review. Um, it's not gonna be often in a way I'll do this. Um, Sometimes rare occasions. Sometimes I'll do this. If it happens again. You know, but the way I'm gonna do it, obviously I'm gonna start off with the show that started off from April 4th, and then once I get to that, done with that, I should say, I'll move on to April 8th. No, I'm sorry, April 11th, I should say. And basically, what comes to that, here's how it's gonna go. So as you can see, with the background and the top logo as well on the right hand corner, the top right hand corner, where you see the TNA Wrestling logo on top of AJ Styles, and you see the background. Obviously, what comes to TNA Pass, which I'll show you. Yeah, what comes to TNA's past, present, and future. And this is how it's going to look pertains to me doing from April 4th of 2024. And then once we get done with that, that means I'll be moving on to April 11th, which is how you're seeing right now. It's being being portrayed right now. And then when we get to April 18th, the TNA logo from the top right hand corner will be gone. And that's how I'm going to do it when it comes to doing back to back to back. When it comes to doing this. So let's bring these back now so that we can get started. There's the TNA logo, and here comes the background. So here we go, folks. Let's not waste any time. And once we get to all that done, you'll see come up, and then eventually sometime later, don't know when I'll upload this. Probably like during the weekend. But once I'm done, then I get to TNA Wrestling's Rebellion, and then I will get to the following show on TNA's Impact. Thanks to the fallout of after that Rebellion. So that being said, let's get right to it. So for TNA Wrestling Impact results from April 4th, 2024, the show was showcasing a lot more on the generational, I should say, the generational clash between Nick Nemeth and Alex Shelley, which ends up being the main event. And they was hyping up this match a lot, with a lot of TNA Wrestling stars talking about this match. Just a majority that they chose to talk about it. So the first thing we picked up of the show was the X-Division champion Mustafa Ali versus Rhino in a old school rules match. Wasn't for the title, but it was just for Rhino to get payback on Mustafa Ali in here. And spoiler alert, he didn't get no payback on him. I mean, he may get some beating in a way, pertains to using weapons in the match, which is why it's deemed no rule, old school rules. That's basically Rhino's type of thing. Especially if you know who Rhino is from ECW, you know what ECW is all about. And in the end, it was Mustafa Ali getting the win on Rhino. At the Rhino crash through a table when he's trying to go for a gore onto Mustafa Ali, and that's what cost him. So yeah, Mustafa Ali does win. And then as he's Mustafa Ali gets out of harm's way, trying to to leave, that Jake something comes out, and then Ali was saved by members of the security team. So Jake something takes them out, and Mustafa Ali gets out of harm's way, and that was basically it for that one. We get Gina Miller, excuse me. She interviews Hammerstone, and Gina Miller asks if he's scared of Josh Alexander after he's been trying to call him out and all that. And then Hammerstone says that he is bigger, stronger, and faster than Josh Alexander. He has no reason to be afraid of him. And Hammerstone agrees to face Josh Alexander one more time, but it's going to be on his terms at Rebellion, and we will get to that eventually. And then to end this interview that he was being conducted with with Gene Miller, he placed his Josh Alexander's headgear onto his cameraman as he assaults him and gets him in the torture rack. And that was basically it for that one. So yeah, so we get the Rascals. They insult the city of Philadelphia. That's where they're at that way. And I'm pretty sure it was around that. Yeah, actually it was. It was around that same week where WrestleMania weekend happened. Because that's basically what the big the big fuss was all about. For pertains to WrestleMania weekend. But basically they were confronted by the FBI, which is Full Blooded Italian, Little Greedo, who introduced Zach Clayton, who I think he's dating, or if not maybe married to Jay Wow of Jersey Shores, and some guy named Ray Jazz. And these guys wrestled against the Rascals, and match itself was pretty decent. But in the end, it was the Rascals winning. After we got Myron Reed, who is original member of the Rascals. And he was there at one point, but then he was gone, and then this is him returning for this time. So yeah, Myron Reed helps the Rascals win, and that's pretty much it for them. Uh, John. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is one of John DeGresham's video vignettes they did for him, where he was in some kind of meeting with people that are talking about talking about it was basically a support group in a way that they were doing there. So I guess he's now calling himself by John Gresham now instead of Jonathan Gresham. But this is part one of it, and part one is entitled Lies. So John attends a meeting where he shares his progress with the group, says that if he wants to people to listen to him, he needs to wear a mask. And if you want to be honest, then you have to live a lie. And that's basically what that was about. Basically, it's a new character for John Gresham. That's his new name now. So it's a new name for John Gresham. Um, and that's all I can say from anywhere. And we'll get to more of his other part of the story as we go along of this review. Which it'll be in the next results of TNA's Impact. Gia Miller, she interviews Speedball Mountain, which is Mike Bailey and Trent Seven, where they're going up against the tag team champions at Rebellion. So Mike Bailey talks about his short, coming up short against Eddie Edwards from last time they wrestled, and the system interrupts by Trent Seven's vow to on the bounce back as he challenges the TNA World Champion Moose in a singles match. So there you go. That won't be until the next review. the next thing I'll review on. Chris Bay with Ace Austin versus Frankie Kazarian, where Frankie Kazarian always has Jay Chung always announce him as King of TNA. Match happens pretty decent with Frankie Kazarian getting the win, and pretty much it there. And he cheated too, by the way. He gave Chris Bay a low blow. Because Ace Austin was being thrown out because Frankie Kazarian was trying to use a chain onto Chris Bay, but then Ace Austin takes it away from him, and then Frankie Kazarian pretending he got hit by Ace Austin, and referee sees this and all that, and that's why the referee kicked him out, and that's why he was distracted of why Frankie Kazarian got away of cheating to win. So there you go. Word on going around that uh the knockouts locker room is that Killer Killer is no longer the tag team of Master Slimovich, following a string of miscommunication between the two. As the system member, yeah, as the only member of the system, I should say, without a championship, Alicia Edwards offers to be Master Slimovich's partner when it comes to her rematch for the Knockouts World Tag Team Championships against Spitfire. Yes, for those who don't know, um, Kelly Kelly is no longer with the company. I don't know if she chose him to not to leave, or her contract expired or whatever, and she didn't want to renew. But it doesn't matter because Kelly Kelly is not there no more, which is a damn shame. And it makes me wonder too at the time while I was talking about all this, where Kelly Kelly and Marshall Simmons is going to get a rematch. Uh, Marshall Simmons just still feel like she needs a rematch, but she needs a partner. And Kelly Kelly, since she's no longer around, Marshall Simmons is like, okay, so what's going on with her now? Well, they all about Alicia Edwards. So, and we'll see how that turns out too. By the way, when we get to Rebellion too as well, you'll find out when we get to it. Yeah, eventually. Siley. Um, no, I'm sorry, not Siley. I'm talking about Siley. Um, Cy Brookside, excuse me. I apologize, folks. I'm tired. Yeah, in case you don't realize I'm tired. Well, we're facing some of my voice though, but obviously because you can't see how tired I am. So, but Cy Brookside did not want to leave the ring. When it comes to the personal consigliere or wherever he's going by, when it comes to trash by elegance. So the match happens finally, folks, with Trash by Elegance versus Saya Brookside. And you would think that, with Trash by Elegance, that she would at least have a good match against Saya Brookside, who's pretty good in the ring. Boy, was I wrong. Because this was shit. Not because of Saya Brookside, but because Trash by Elegance fucking sucks in the ring. And she wins, by the way. Because of course. Okay, screw having Saya Brookside winning. You gotta have Trash by Elegance winning, and they're gonna build her up to become number contender for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. Unfucking believable. Anyways, moving on. Ace Austin and Chris Bay are arguing backstage about Ricky Kazarian. All of a sudden, we get First Class, which is Rich Swann and AJ Francis, trying to recruit Chris Bay, but Chris Bay was not going to have any of it, and that's what we get from there. So, and I guess also match. I forgot if there was a match that was laid out, a challenge in a way, but I guess find out in the next one. Because again, yeah, I'm trying to remember. Is that exactly what happened there? During an interview with Gia Miller, she was interviewing Matt Cardona and Steph Delanter. Revealing that they've returned to TNA Wrestling for three reasons: buzz, money, and gold. And that's basically it there. That's all there's just because obviously we got Steph Delander. She won the 8-4-1 match, and that means she gets a title shot against Jordan Grace, which we'll get to that. Right, when I talk about TNA's Rebellion. And finally, we get to the main event: Nick Nemeth versus Alex Shelley, where they were deemed as the generational clash. And what a generational clash this was, because it was a damn great main event match that Nick Nemeth and Alex Shelley had, and Nick Nemeth wins. Not much to say. I thought it was a great match, and on top of that, y'all, because the most City Machine Guns are leaving anyways. So what better way for Alex Shelley to do but to pull over Nick Nemeth on his way out? So there you go. That's another only thing that the motion machine guns are pulling someone over on their way out too as well. We'll get to that, which could be the next thing I'm about to review. So yeah, there you go, folks. Nick Nemeth is basically, by being a former world champion, he's ready to face the current world champion in Moose at Rebellion. So that's pretty much what the show was about, and I'm glad that's how they showcased it, and how they built it up to and all. So talk about wrestling for April 4th, 2024 of TNA Impact with 5 matches. My overall scoring for the show, I will go for a 9 out of 10, namely because that main event match. Having not that main event match, I would have just given it a 7, namely because of Trash by Elegance performance against Cyber Brookside. Because the rest of the show was watchable for me, and it was enjoyable to watch. But Trash by Elegance, basically downgraded it in a way. But I will still give it a 9 out of 10 because the main event did save that match. Yeah, the main event, I should say, did save the show, because obviously they had to follow that semi main event, which it was Trash by Elegance versus Cyber Brookside, and I feel sorry for Cyber Brookside. She had to put over Trash in TNA wrestling. And there you go, folks. That was what comes to April 4th of 2024. And now, that being said, we move on to the next thing, which now I can do this, because now this is your TNA Impact results from April 11th, 2024. And this show was focusing not only on the build up to TNA Rebellion, but also pertains to setting up the next show for TNA called Against All Odds. That's set up for June 14th in Chicago. Makes you wonder, is CM Punk's going to be there? Not, no, he's not. But never say never, I mean, he probably will be there, but but like somewhere in the somewhere from the far back, where he won't be shown, as he's being there to attend, maybe to watch Nick Nemeth wrestle on the show, if he is going to be part of of it. But then again, why would Nick Nemeth not be part of Against All Odds? In fact, I think this will be the show that Nick Nemeth you know can get an opportunity. Obviously, if you're seeing TNA Rebellion, you already know about that whole thing of Nick Nemeth versus Moose. But I digress. But anyways, so when it comes to this show as well, um, we had let's see, I try to remember if this is the segment that happened, or what was it on the Go Home show? Oh yeah, I guess it did happen on here, but let me just double check just in case. I could swear it was on the Golem show. So just give me a moment, folks. Let's see, where is it? All right, let me see. Let me see right here. Okay. All right, it was from the 11th. Okay. So the show started off opening up with Josh Alexander being attacked by Hammerstone. Sorry about that, folks. About the sirens. As I was saying, they show Josh Alexander and Hammerstone fighting uh one another, and then securities referees coming in to break it up. I think Tommy Dreamer did came out there to break to tell basically telling Josh Alexander to go backstage. I got to talk to Hammerstone. You got your match setting up for pertains to Rebellion against him and all that. You got him ready. And Tom Jones trying to get trying to get a talk to Josh Hammerstone. You're better than this, whatever, and blah blah blah. Josh Hammerstone acting like he care. He of his expression, and also he turns on Tommy Dreamer at in the process of it, and then Josh Alexander comes out for the save, and Hammerstone leaves, and that was it. Uh, so let me get to the the first match of the show was the digital media champion, Gracie Steve versus Laredo Kid in the digital media championship match, where it started pretty decent, and we had at one point Gracie Steve trying to go for the mask with Laredo Kid, and Laredo Kid stopped him, and then in rage he pummels Gracie Steve, shoving the referee out of the way, and then pushing the referee down, causing a DQ, and Gracie Steve wins via disqualification. You know the whole thing of the rare kid basically he didn't keep his emotions in check. You know, so this will lead to a rematch between these two. Um, when we get to Rebellion. So, and also the show was also focusing a lot of Monsters Ball, which I thought was gonna be on Rebellion, but ends up being on here instead. So PCO and Kong have been locked away for 24 hours with no food, no water, and no lights, because that's basically the theme when it comes to going ahead of Monsters Ball. So Khan, is in some room that's you know dark and everything and we can see we can see the him and glow in the dark type of way. PCO, he was just laying down with a blanket covering him until it's time for him to be awakened by these mad doctors. It was just PCO in the room until you know it was time to wake him up. So Alex Shelley apologizes to Chris Bay and Kushida for trying to do things on his own in recent weeks. Shelley admits that they're better as a group, as a trio, and they hugged it out. So it was for the best to do that too, because if the Motion Machine Guns were not leaving and they would have kept on doing this whole thing with Alex Shelley, he probably would have had turned heel already. So so the fact that the motion machine guns are leaving, and they're going, and the rumor is they're going to AEW. So um, yeah, so it's best that they didn't try to do anything while we're actually trying to break away from them. So there you go. Okay, so here we go. ABC, Ace Austin, and Chris Bay. Yeah, so for the last one I talked about pertains to April 4th. It was pertains to a tag team match against First Class of AJ Francis and Rich Swann. And it's been pretty decent in a way. In the end, it was First Class getting the win. And there you go. That's pretty much it from there. After the match, though, Joe Hendry pokes fun at Rich Swann for teaming up with Fat Uncle Phil, basically referring that to AJ Francis, because he was basically I think there's like some nursery rhyme or something like that, which tends to talk about something, or unless you're trying to sing his own cover song of First Person Bel Air or something like that. I don't know. Hmm. But 200% he's going to face Rich Swann at Rebellion. There you go. Trash Fat Elegance claims that she should receive a TNA Knockouts World Championship at Rebellion after Steph Delanto took her spot on the A4-1 match. That Santana turned that down though, which of course, duh, try to take shortcuts to already, despite her being fucking trash. Ex-Division Champion Mustafa Ali has a business proposition for the Grizzly Young Vets as he looks to get out of his match against Jake something from Rebellion, which obviously that failed. So, moving on. Jordan Grace and Steph Delanter signed the contract for Rebellion, and it's official. Yeah, Santana Morella, who's monetizing the whole thing, who is the director of Authority, and then Matt Cardone was out there with his with Steph Delanter, and I thought the contracts signing was pretty good. Obviously, it led to a chaos. Matt Cardona helped out Steph Delanter to and then Steph Delanter put Joe Rich to a table with a choke slam, and there you go. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this for a contract signing. I enjoyed this for what it was. The system confronts Marcel Stanovich to see if she's willing to join forces with Elizabeth Edwards to pursue the Knockouts World Tag Team Championships, and she still didn't get her answer because we didn't understand what she said when she was speaking in Russian. So, but we'll get to that when we get to Rebellion. And and when I say that, I meant the pre-show. All right, so we get part two, folks, which is to John Gresham. Um, Now here's the thing, folks. I think when I said John Gresham, I was reading through his Twitter account where it says at the John Gresham. Now I don't know if he shortened his name to be John Gresham or is he still called Jonathan Gresham. The point is Jonathan Gresham, the octopus, the founder. I mean the foundation. But anyways, but anyways, but it was another one of these vignettes where during another meeting where Jonathan Gresham's reveals that he has three masses. One that he shows to the world, one that he shows only to his face, I mean to his close friends and family, and one that he hasn't shown to anyone, which he did show that in part four, and we will get to that. So there you go. And these videos are pretty good, by the way. It's well done, and I want, and obviously it led to where it's going to go to, and we'll get to that when we get to it. TNA World Champion Moose with the system, Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards, and Alicia Edwards versus Trent Seven with Mike Bailey at ringside. So Moose and Trent had a match. Then I don't think it lasted that long either, folks. I think maybe about 10 minutes or so, and then in the end it was TNA World Champion Moose winning. So there you go. Match itself was decent for what it was. After the match though, Mike Bailey was fighting against the system because the system was going after him. Obviously the numbers game got the best of him, and then we got Time Machine coming out, which is Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, and Kushida. They basically came to the aid of Speedball Mountain. Then we go backstage. Where Santana Morella informs Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards that they will defend their TNA World Tag Team Championships against Motion Machine Guns on the next Impact Wrestling show. For I mean, on TNA Impact, the next TNA Impact show, which I'll get to that when we get to it. As people, Mountain will challenge the winners at Rebellion, and that's how the match was set up. And then also, Decay walks in after the system leaves. They want a rematch clause to be to be invoked. And Santana Morel said, "Done," and happy at Rebellion, and we'll get to that. So James Drake with Zach Gibson versus Jake Something, and I thought the match itself was decent. With Jake Something again went over on James Drake. I remember Mustafa Ali came out, to try to do a distraction mover, but it didn't matter because after the match, Mustafa Ali still ended up, being out there and, basically trying to take care of the problem in Jake Something, and obviously that failed. And oh yeah, I remember. Okay, I remember now. Mustafa Ali did try to interfere in the match. And then you had Diener. I guess he's going back to me now as Cody Diener now, and he comes to the aid of Jake Something, and there's history between these two guys, by the way, Jake Something and Cody Diener, because Jake and Cody used to be a tag team when they came into TNA. Yeah, at the time it was called Impact Wrestling. When it comes to the Dieners, Jake Something was called Cousin Jake, and Cody, who had long hair at the time, and and his beard was, I don't remember if his beard was long at the time too, but he still got the beard though. But but yeah, um, I thought that was a nice kind of a dinner reunion there, the dinner's reunion in a way. So yeah, but either way, um, Ali and the Grizzly Young Vets, they beat down on Jake Something and Cody Deaner, and that was it. And finally, the main event was the Monsters Ball, PCO versus Kong. Kong, excuse me. I don't know why I said Kong. Kong. So they used trash cans, chairs, tables. They used thumbtacks. Um, oh yeah, and also candlesticks too as well. Even a ladder. And they were going nuts in this Monsters Ball match. And in the end, it was PCO winning. And there you go. That was the main event. And that would do it for this TNA Impact results from April 11th, 2023. I mean 2024. Excuse me. Again, folks, I apologize. Yeah, I'm way too tired. So, but yeah, but that's that's what it is for that one there. And there you go. Now, Toma Wrestling for the show of TNA Impact from April 11th, 2024 was 5 matches. Overall strength for the show, I will go for a 8 out of 10. So there you go. And now, folks, we're down to one more, and that is what comes to. Now, before I do, let me do this. And there goes the TNA logo from the right hand upper corner because it's gone. Because now we're moving on to the Go Home Show edition for TNA Rebellion for TNA Impact. The results from April 18th, 2024. The show opened up with Hammerstone versus Greedo. And there was the FBI out there. Ray Jazz and Zach Clayton. And match itself, it was alright for what it was. But Hammerstone got the win though. Obviously, because obviously he's going into the Rebellion, and Greedo's not. And then after the match, by the way, just I was hearing he was on commentary as this match was happening too, by the way. So But there you go. Trash by Elegance. She says she may not be getting a shot at the title at Rebellion, but she will still be there in person. And I'm like, who gives a fuck? Moving on. Oh, I guess I missed this, by the way. Apparently, Zaya Brookside confronted Trash by Elegance, and because because she cheated. By the way, that's another too. I think oh yeah, yes, right. Trash by Elegance won the match against Zaya Brookside because she threw champagne in her face when referee was being distracted, I guess, and then she beat her, and that's why Sarah Brookside decided to confront her and all that, and basically she's getting a rematch. I hope she won this time, but then again, it's trash by elegance because she's gonna be up in line for a title shot, which is a crime itself. There, we're gonna reward trash who's trash as a wrestler to get a title shot. Anyways, folks, we got Jordan Grace, who's at the airport recording herself because due to the injury that happened with Mike Cardona, because apparently I think he had like a pectoral muscle, and he had to get surgery or whatever. I saw on Instagram about but I didn't know what it was, why of it, but yeah, bad time about it that Mike Cardona got injured. Yeah, so but Jordan Grace says it's gonna be just between those two straight up. Oh yeah, so sorry, thought. But you'll find out when we get to it. And those of you who saw the on the show, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Joe Hendry went up against someone named LSJ. I mean LSG, excuse me, and beat him. Okay. Cody Dinner asked the fans um if he and Jake something should go on a 2-on-3 against Mustafa Ali and the Grizzly Young Vets, or to team up with someone else, or they had team up with someone else that they already picked and all that. Who's got a bone to pick with Ali. So the crowd obviously they have spoken when it comes to 3-on-3. It's a 3-on-2, and that person was Rhino. So yeah, so you had the Grizzly Young Vets and the X Division champion Mustafa Ali versus Jake Something, Cody Diener, and Rhino. And that result was pretty decent, but it was the heels winning here. So there you go. And Mustafa Ali who got the win over on Rhino. I believe it was on right. I believe it was on Rhino. Oh no, I'm sorry, it was on Rhino. It was on Cody Diener. So uh Steve Macklin, he vows to make his presence at Rebellion, which he did, and we'll get to that a moment. When I do that on that review. Eric Young was talking to himself. That's basically how it was edited, by the way, folks. Which it was done very well. Eric Young was talking to himself. Basically, it was the Eric Young that we see every week on TNA Wrestling, talking to um Divine by Design Eric Young, who's wearing who's obviously wearing a mask and everything and all that. So and yeah, basically where it comes to facing Frankie Kazarian, you gotta let the sickness come back. What comes to Divine by Design, the sickness to be prepared against Frankie Kazarian in Full Metal Mayhem. So there you go. And we get to the Knockouts World Tag Team Champion Joey Threat with Danny Luna versus Rosemary with Havoc. Um, so Joey Threat and Rosemary had a decent match, and Rosemary got the win. And there you go. Um, then we get part three, which is it was called Acceptance. So Jonathan Gresham is ashamed that he's gone unheard for years as he opened and um Vern about Van Neville. That's how you say it. But it was humiliating. But it doesn't have to be, basically. Basically, it's just him sitting in the park, and and then and then another person sitting with him, which is it's him, by the way, but in the octopus mask that he wears. Yeah, the mask, the octopus mask that he always wear, so which is a pretty cool mask, by the way. And folks, we're getting close to part four, and once we get to part four, we will talk about that on TNA Rebellion. We get to the TNA World Tag Team Champions, the System, Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers with Alicia Edwards versus the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin for the TNA World Tag Team Championship. It ends up being a great match, obviously, because Motor City Machine Guns are leaving TNA Wrestling. This is the way to to pull over these tag team and Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers off the System on the way out, and that's what happened. And we hear from Nick Nemeth. Nick Nemeth comes out and comes to him challenging Moose for the TNA World Title at Rebellion. Um, Nick Nemeth pays homage to the hardcore legend, um, the Sandman, because he was going through the crowd. He ends up getting a beer and a candlestick from a fan. It was weird how they did this too. Well, and he's wearing a baseball cap. It had nothing to do with being Sandman, but basically he was doing the whole Sandman thing where he's drinking the beer, slamming the can on his head, but except he was wearing a cap to make sure he doesn't bust himself open. But that's basically what it was. So Nick Nemeth addresses on the Impact Zone. He immediately was interrupted by Moose though. Moose comes out and says to Nick Nemeth that throughout his career he had never been able to defeat the System. And Nick Nemeth fires back by saying everyone loves to see him become the new TNA World Champion, and that he's here to stay in TNA. Moose calls Nick Nemeth a choke artist. Nick Nemeth admits that he has doubted himself in the past, but right now he's the best he's ever been, and he vows to walk out as TNA World Champion. And that was it. And folks, that was it for the show. And that was it for, and that's basically it for this review now, folks, because it is finally over. When it comes to the show from April 18th, 2024, that will conclude this review when it comes to this results, because this was the final results until we get to Rebellion. And tomorrow wrestling for this show for April 18th, 2024, 5 matches, and my overall rating for the show, I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. Very good show what they did here, and the main event was great. The closing segment was great, and yeah, there you go. Not much to say. Nothing but a good show, So, and now, folks, let me bring back the logo, and let me bring back the background as I get ready to close this up. So, folks, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being part of watching this back to back to back, another I should say, of back to back to back TNA Impact results from April 4th, 11th, and 18th. And there you go, folks. And with that being said, thank you all for watching. For It's Not a Born Thriller, as I say, peace on the street, all you be well, stay safe, take care of yourself, everything that's going on in the world, and I am out here. Talk for now. Until next time you see me here, more chance to come back here with more TNA wrestling reviews. It'll be about TNA Rebellion and what happened at TNA Impact when it comes to the results after TNA Rebellion, basically the fallout in a way. So until then, take care of yourselves and each other, and God bless.